Hi everyone, my name is Amy Schollenberger and I have a business that is a consulting firm. We do political strategy work for issues and people, and I also work as part of that work. I do lobbying work in the State House. So it's a little bit weird to be on Zoom instead of being in the State House, but you still want to make sure that you're all ready to go. So when it's time for the forum, get yourself set up, think about it a little bit ahead of time. Make sure you look behind you, what's on the wall behind you, like my poster there. Make sure there isn't going to be, your little brother playing the drums in the background when you're trying to testify. And make sure you have a good seat to sit in and you can sit straight and be facing the camera and have both your feet on the ground. So a couple of things I've picked up on these Zoom meetings is if people are fidgeting around a lot, it's really distracting and sometimes it makes the video sort of stutter. And a friend of mine who's a little bit hard of hearing but not quite deaf also shared with me that a lot of people in that situation actually are lip readers, and so it really helps if you have your face kind of open and you can look at the camera and you have good lighting on your face and you don't have like a hat with a brim or a scarf near your face, so that people who might be trying to pay attention and watching your lips can really have a better experience. So you can think about that as well. And you also want to say your name right up front. So if I were going to testify, I would be ready to go. I'd unmute myself and I would say, "Hi, I'm Amy Schollenberger. I live in Barre, Vermont. Thanks for the opportunity to testify." And then I would, look down at whatever I was going to read and start reading. It's totally fine to read. And also just a reminder that this is a public forum. It will be available for people to read. So when you're thinking about what you want to say, make sure you're fine with it being public, what you're saying. Don't give out your personal contact information while you're speaking on this forum. Don't say anything that would be private to you that you don't want everybody to know. And also, obviously, don't share things about other people that would be private. We have two really big things that we recommend to people when they're getting ready to testify. One is to just tell a very short story. Make sure it's relevant to the issue and to what you're asking policymakers for. So, for instance, if you're saying to policymakers, we think that you should have a statewide graduation party once we're all open so that all the seniors who didn't get to graduate could go and be together and graduate. I'm just making that up. I don't know if that's a good idea. But let's say that's what you're doing. You're talking about you're a senior now, or your sibling who's a senior. You could tell a little story about you had hoped, for having your graduation. Maybe you bought a special outfit or something. You tell a little story about that, and then you can say, "This is what I want." That's the second part, is make a specific request if you can. It's totally fine to complain about things. Like if something's going really badly, you should say it. Say it clearly, be clear about what the problem is. But it's also really helpful. It's way more effective to tell policymakers what you think should be different. You could say, like, "I'm really upset that I don't get to have a graduation, and I was looking forward to it, and I think it's really a drag that all these students across the state don't get to have a graduation." I tell my story about my own situation, but then having the suggestion of, "This is what I think we should do," either at your school or at the state or whatever, just to give an idea. It doesn't have to have all the details or exactly how it's going to work or what it's going to look like, but just some kind of way to go forward and think about the next step. Give them a goal, is what I like to say. Give them a vision for what you would like to see. The third point I always like to make is it's really great to practice. I would recommend doing it at least once more before you actually get on camera. I find when I practice, when I write out my testimony and then I read it out loud, a lot of times I think, "Oh, that sounded better written down, but it doesn't really sound right when I read it out loud, so I want to make some changes to it." Also, you want to make sure you fit into the 2-minute time slot. Try not to be talking too fast because it's harder to listen to people on video even than in real life. If you're talking very fast, it's very difficult to understand what people are saying. So good luck. I look forward to seeing you all testifying. I will be watching on Monday for the forum. Have a great day.